Welcome to the Bible reading journey, where we are traveling from Genesis to Revelation in a year. And today we are on day number 239 of the Bible reading journey, and today's reading itinerary is the book of Daniel, chapters 1 through 3. And you might want to pause here and first dive into today's reading for yourself, and then join us back here for thoughts about today's journey. Today's journey is titled Daniel's Friends in the Furnace. But before we get to that, where are we on the Bible reading journey? Well, we have just finished the book of Ezekiel, and we now begin the book of Daniel. Here's a recap of where we've been and where we're going. In fact, in your text notes, there is an outline of the Old Testament to guide us on our journey. And we completed section 1 of the outline, the 17 historical books. The historical books portray the birth, growth, development, and discipline of God's covenant people, Israel. Next, we completed section 2 of the outline, the 5 poetic books. The poetic books capture the emotions, heart, and heartbeats of men and women living during the historical period. And now we are on section 3, the 17 Prophetic Books. The prophetic books record God's repeated attempts to call his people back to the godly behavior they abandoned. And we are on the last of the 5 major prophets in the prophetic books. So we are on section 3A5 of the Old Testament outline. And now we welcome you to the book of Daniel. Daniel is an exile captive, a prophet in the Babylonian palace, a dream interpreter, and a man of faith and courage. The life of Daniel demonstrates once again that God takes what was meant for evil and uses it for good. Your text notes also contain an outline of the book of Daniel to guide us on our journey, and we're at the beginning of that outline, section 1A. which is Daniel's Friends in the Furnace, chapters 1 through 3. And in chapter 1, you read that Daniel and his 3 friends are set apart by their courage to be different. Read this chapter to see how these 4 friends stand firm in their faith, despite the presence of strong peer pressure and potential fear of man. Chapter 2. Daniel is set apart by his God-given ability to interpret the king's dream. Read this chapter to see how these 4 friends turn to God in prayer and petition when faced with execution. Read how God delivers them through Daniel's dream interpretation. And finally today in chapter 3, Daniel's 3 friends are set apart by their courage and faithfulness in the face of death. Read this chapter to see how Daniel's friends face death and the rage of man while keeping their faith in God first. Read how God delivers them through the blazing, fiery furnace. The thought of the day comes from the Daily Walk Bible. Godliness shines bright in the dark night of worldliness. The challenge of the day. Godliness is a desirable trait among believers, yet the world wants to extinguish godliness. Godliness is refined and shines best in the fires of life. Are you facing fires in your life? Look up. It is an opportunity for your godly character to be refined and to shine. Pray for God to help you shine his light in this dark world. The memory verse of the day comes from Daniel 3:18. But even if he does not, we want you to know, Your Majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up. The text notes contain information on how to find us on YouTube, Facebook, and email. Happy travels today. See you next time. This is Lisa at Lighthouse. God bless.